Hey guys, welcome to the next video on OpenCV tutorial for beginners using Python. In this video, we will learn how to draw different geometric shapes using OpenCV. So to start with, I have this code and I have already explained what this code does. So this IamRead is used to read an image, and then we are just showing this image into a window using this IamShow method. And then using the wait key, we will wait for the closing event, and the destroy all window will destroy all the windows which we have created. So this we have already seen. Now let's say we want to draw some geometric shapes on this image. So to start with, let's learn how to draw a line on our image which we have read from this read function. So what we are going to do is we will overwrite this image. So we have already created this image variable. So what we are going to do is we will draw a line on the same image. So I'm going to just write img is equal to cv2 dot lines, and you can see in the suggestion this line method takes few arguments. So the first argument is the image itself. The second argument is the starting coordinates of point 1. The third argument is the ending coordinates of point 2. And then the fourth argument is the color, and fifth argument is the thickness. So let's use this line method and then give these arguments one by one. So we want to write to the image which we have read using this file. So the first argument is the image variable, and the second argument is the coordinates. So the coordinates should be given in the form of tuple. So let's say we start with 0, 0 coordinate, and the ending coordinates will be, let's say, 255, 255. Okay. The fourth argument will be the color, and the color you need to give in the BGR format. So if you want to give the blue color, then you can just write 255, 0, 0, because first is the blue color, second is the green color, and third is the red channel color. So if you specify here 255 in the first channel, that means the blue channel, then it's going to draw the blue line. If you give here 255 and then you make other channels 0, then it's going to draw the green line. And if this 255 comes at last and the other channels are 0, then it's going to draw the red line. So let's say we want to draw the red line, that's why I have given 255 here. And the next argument is the thickness. So the thickness you provide in the numbers. So starting from 1 is the lowest thickness. You can increase the thickness 2 or 3 or let's say 5 or 10. So it's going to increase the thickness based upon this number. So let's say we want to give the thickness to our line 5. So this is going to draw a red line on our image. So let's run the code and let's see what happens. So you can see our image is loaded in the grayscale. That's why you don't see any color on the line, but our line is created here. So let's load this image in the colored format by changing this argument to 1, and let's run the code once again, and you will see the image is loaded in the colored format and the line color is red. Now if you want to change the thickness of this line, you can just increase this number, and if you want to change the color of this line, you can change it using these color channels. So let's change the line color to green, let's say, and I'm going to run the code, and you can see the thickness of the line is increased, and now the color of the line is green. Now if you want to draw the line with any other color, you can just go to your favorite browser and search for RGB color picker, but always remember our image will be loaded in the BGR format, so in the reverse order. So blue, green, and then the red channel. So let's say we want this color here, and its RBG channels are this. So I'm going to just copy all these channels, and then I'm going to give these channels in the reverse order. So first of all 147, then 96, and then third channel is the 44, and then I'm going to run my code, and you can see you get the same color which you have chosen here. So this is how you can change the color of your lines. Now there is a function called arrowed line. Let's say we want to use this function which is called arrowed line, and this is going to draw the arrowed line as it says. So let's say we want to just draw this arrowed line in blue color. So I'm going to just give the color channels here and then run the code, and this arrowed line is overlapping on the previous line. That's why you don't see the previous line. So let's change the coordinate of this line. So let's draw this line in this coordinate, which is going to draw the straight line in my opinion. Let's see what happens when I run the code, and you can see it draws the straight line from left to right, which is the arrowed line, and this was our original line. Now let's see how to draw the rectangle. So to draw the rectangle we will do the same. We will just overwrite on the same image. So we will just say image is equal to cv2 dot rectangle, which is a method, and you can see what are the argument it takes. So the first argument is the image itself, the second argument is the 0.1 and 0.2. This 0.1 and 0.2 coordinate I'm going to explain in a bit. The third argument is the color, which is same as line, and the fourth argument is the thickness. So let's use this rectangle function to draw the rectangle. So first of all I'm going to just pass the image variable here. The second argument is the top left vertex coordinates. So let me just draw something here so you will be able to understand in a better way. So when you want to draw a rectangle using OpenCV, this here is the top left vertex coordinates, which is x1 and y1, and this is here the lower right vertex coordinates. So the top left vertex coordinates you give in the second argument. So let's give some coordinates here. So 384, 0, and the lower right coordinates I want to give here is, let's say, 510, 128. So let's say we want to give the red color. So I'm going to just write 0, 0, 255, and the thickness I want to give here is 5, and I'm going to just remove this because it will just create problems. And now let's run the code, and you can see the rectangle is drawn with the red color of thickness 5. You can change the thickness of this rectangle by changing the value of the thickness, and then you can run the code, and now the thickness of this rectangle line is increased. Now one more thing you can provide here is, instead of giving the thickness value, if you write here -1, then it's going to fill the rectangle with the color which you provide here. So when we give -1 here, let's see what happens. So now we get the filled rectangle because we have provided -1 option here. So if you provide -1, then your rectangle or whatever shape you are creating will be filled with the color which you specify here. So let me just change the thickness to 10 once again, and now let's see how we can draw the circle. So to draw the circle, we once again use cv2 dot circle function, and once again you can see what are the argument which it takes. So the first argument is the image, the second argument is the center of the circle, the third argument is the radius of the circle, and the fourth and fifth argument is the color and the thickness once again. So once again we will provide the image. The second argument is the center of the circle. So let's give the center of the circle, which is the coordinate on which you want to give the center. So I'm going to provide, let's say, 447 comma 63 here, and the third argument is the radius. So radius we want to provide here is, let's say, 63, and the fourth argument is the color. So let's use 0 comma 255 comma 0, which is going to draw the green color, and then let's give -1 here, so our circle will be filled with green color. And let's run the code and let's see what happens. So you can see this circle is drawn here and this circle is filled with the green color. Now let's see how we can put some text into the image. So to put the text on our image, we will once again use the image variable and overwrite on it, and then we will use a method called putText. So this is the method which we are going to use. The first argument is the image. The second argument here is the text which we want to put. So let's say we want to just print OpenCV on our image. So we can just write OpenCV as the second argument. The third argument is the starting point of your text. So you need to give the coordinates where you want to start your text from. So the coordinates I want to give here is, let's say, 10 comma 500, and then the next argument is the font face. So the font face you need to give here using a variable. So I'm going to create a variable, let's say font, and then there are many font faces available using CV2. So you can just write CV2 dot font in capital and you can see what are the options available here. I'm going to choose the first one itself, which is font Hershey Simplex font, and then we are going to pass this font as the fourth argument. The fifth argument here will be the font size. So let's say I want to give the font size 4 here. The sixth argument here is the color of your font. So let's say I want to just draw 255, 255, 255, which is going to give us a whitish kind of color. The next argument we will give here is the thickness. So let's say I want to provide the thickness 10 here. And the next argument you can give here is the line type. So let's say I want to give the line type CV2 dot capital line underscore AA. And now let's run our script and let's see what happens. So you can see here OpenCV is printed in the white color of thickness 10. And if you want to change this color, you can change it from here. So I'm going to just put the first channel as 0, and now this color is changed to yellow color. Now one more thing I want to show here is how you can create an image using NumPy zeros method. So either you can use an image which you read from imRead method, or what you can do here is I'm going to just comment this code and we can create an image using the NumPy zeros method. So I'm going to create this img variable and then I'm going to use the NumPy module. So just import this NumPy as import NumPy as np, and then we are going to use this mp to call the zeros method. Now in order to create a black image using this zeros method, you need to give the first argument in the form of list, and inside this list the first element will be the height, second will be the width, and third will be 3. So let's say we want to provide the height 512, we want to provide the width also 512, and the third argument will be 3. And the next argument you give here is the d type or data type. So you can just write np dot u int 8 here. So this method is going to give you a black image of the size 512 by 512. So let's run our code and let's see what happens. So you can see now you can see the black image, and on our black image the line is drawn, the arrowed line is drawn, and the text and the circle and the rectangle are drawn here. So this is how you can draw different geometric shapes on your image. There are several other methods you can use, for example cv2.polyline method or cv2.eclipse method to draw eclipse and polygon on your image. So just try those method to draw different shapes on your image. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video.